Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Staffan Liback. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this evening's Zoom. We're going to have Mr. Stephen Miller on from Connect, going through the latest updates and so on. We just came off a call with what I would say, of course, very positive things, but also very structured communication about what will take place in the next days, weeks, months, and also next 6 months and years and so on. What is the plan of Connect? What is the plan? What to roll out when? And I am sure that we will get some really, really good updates from Steve. And he also promised us to explain more about actually the win points and so on, and also about the other things that is happening in Connect and the projects around. So Mr. Stephen, if you want to take over, it would be fine.
Thank you, Staffan. I appreciate it. Hey, welcome everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you might be around the world. Great to be here with you. Today, I wanted to kind of just get into some of the nuts and bolts around the blockchain, around some of the different projects that Connect is supporting right now as well. Also to talk about the technology itself, where we are with some of our updates with the technology. I've been on phone calls and Zoom calls and in meetings with our group for this whole last week, pushing things forward, improving some of the tools and doing some different things. So I want to go through each of these different line items. I've got kind of my list of things that I want to make sure that I cover today. First things first, we've talked about this on the last probably 2 or 3 different calls, but we're still having some issue with the Vault software. And we are asking that people do not try to mint or to transfer from your Vault into your app. Right now, the problem that is happening is it is taking Ethereum, but the transfer is not happening. I said this already several times, but I've heard back that there are people that are still trying to do it, and please don't. It's going to make it'll just make it a little bit of a harder issue. We can solve that after the fact, but it makes it more difficult, and we don't want anybody to lose any of their Ethereum. So please, for right now, until you hear from us and we tell you to go ahead and try to do that again, do not try to transfer from your Vault into your app. So I want to make sure that's clear. Please, for anybody that is on this call who has teams with different languages, please translate that for them. Let them know to wait. Do not transfer from your Vault into your app right now, because currently it will remove the Ethereum, but it will not the transfer is not happening. We are aware of this, and we are working. We've got a whole team that right now is working on solving that particular problem right now. So I wanted to start with that because I thought that was really important. I don't want anybody to lose any of their Ethereum. And again, the people that have done that already, we will make sure that we figure out a solution for that as well. One of the other really, I think, important parts of the conversation, I know that there are a lot of individuals that are interested in wanting to know when the other blockchains besides Green will be up and running. We've got, of course, in our bundle that we have that's available that people can purchase. They can purchase the Blue node, I only call it the Blockbot Blue, Blockbot Win, Blockbot Liberty, Blockbot Switch, and so those other nodes outside of Green, of course, the communication that we have been saying is that we are about 90 to 180 days out for each of those different blockchains to be stood up, and the process there and what that looks like is typically. We go through an off-chain kind of testing process that then is turned on-chain. This is the same process that we did with Gala, and it's same process that we've done with Green. And so this same process we will follow with the other ones as well. And we want to just make sure that everyone understands we're still a few, 2 or 3 months or so into left in that process. Now we're hoping that it will go faster, but we want to set a proper expectation for everybody. So we're going to stick to that 90 to 180 day time frame. And please make sure that you're telling that to individuals that you're talking to as well about all of the different projects. One of the questions that I also keep getting, and I will always keep getting, I know everyone will always ask this question, is when will Green and others be on exchanges? Okay. The conversation around exchanges, I think, is a very important conversation, but it's one that I want to give a little bit more context to. I want to help everyone understand what this system looks like and the roadmap for that. Green is actually currently on, as far as I know, 2 different exchanges. Right now, Green is on Uniswap, and it's also on 1inch. Now, these are both decentralized exchanges. And if you understand, there is a big difference between a decentralized exchange and a centralized exchange. The major difference between those is in a decentralized exchange, any participant in the project can actually contribute and offer up liquidity. And what that means is if you have Green or whatever the reward might be, if you own that and are willing to put that up against maybe a portion of Ethereum, you can offer that liquidity to the marketplace so that anybody coming by can either purchase the Green from you or they can purchase the Ethereum from you on kind of that scale. Okay. When they do that, the individual that puts the liquidity into the marketplace, that offers up that equation, they are the ones that are getting the benefits from that. So they are receiving the fees and of course the other portion, whatever they're purchasing or transferring. And so there's a reason why on Uniswap right now, if you look up Uniswap, there are billions of dollars of transactions that are happening on Uniswap, on this decentralized exchange. And that's, of course, across all blockchains, but there are billions and billions of dollars daily that are being transacted on these blockchains. Right now, I believe Green is, I haven't looked at it in the last couple of days, but there has been $1 million or so a week of liquidity that's been going through and being offered up for Green, and sometimes even a little bit more than that. So there's volume that's starting. The pattern, what we have seen in this kind of process, the patterns that we have seen is typically as volume continues to increase. So as more and more people are jumping into some of these decentralized exchanges, as they are offering up liquidity and these transfers and transactions are happening, what we have seen is that some of the more centralized exchanges, and you've probably heard, there's a lot of different centralized exchanges out there, like, Krakens and the Binances and, Coinbase, of course, but these more centralized exchanges, when they start to see those volumes increase and those trading, that liquidity increase, they'll take a look at that and say, well, we don't want to miss out on that volume. We want to participate in that volume. And oftentimes, usually what's, at least in my experience, we often don't even know when that's going to happen. They don't tell us. We can apply for different things with some of the different centralized exchanges, some of the bigger exchanges, but we often, usually, at least in our experience so far, we don't know when that's going to happen. They will make a decision, and when, for example, when Gala got on Binance, and then when it got on Coinbase Pro, we had no idea that was actually going to happen until we saw it. It just, they just kind of came and said, okay, there's enough volume in the marketplace, there's enough liquidity that's being offered up. We want to go ahead and list that with us. And so that's kind of been our experience so far. Obviously, we will do, any member of the community can help in putting on, different exchanges, some of these, of course, more decentralized exchanges. And we will continue to do so, those of us that are participating in these projects. But it's really a function of node sales, individuals that are participating in the project, that are interested in the project, that are mining the different projects, that then offer up liquidity and different things. And so it's kind of a combination of a lot of these different factors that help all of these different projects to then increase, grow, and eventually the hope is, of course, to be picked up by some of the larger exchanges. So we are going to continue down that road, and those of us that are participating, we invite anybody else who desires to participate and offer up liquidity and kind of be in the market and working in the marketplace. You can all participate and do that as well. So I wanted to just describe that, and it's a little bit of a learning curve for a lot of that, of course. But that is something that is currently happening and growing right now. You can, again, if you go onto Uniswap and look up the green contract, you'll be able to see that. And by the way, for anyone that doesn't have the green contract address, you can go to setpowerfree.com and find that green contract address, and then put that into Uniswap or 1inch or any of the others that are currently offering up green in the marketplace. Again, that's setpowerfree.com if you'd like to find that green contract address. So I wanted to talk about that. The other thing today that I wanted to reiterate, and I believe I've mentioned this several times also on the calls, is the difference between a blockbot node, and a smart node. Okay, the major difference between a blockbot node and a smart node is inside of Connect. So blockbots you can only purchase through Connect. You can't get a blockbot if you go directly to Switch or to Blue or Liberty or any of the other projects. If you go directly to those, you will find that you will purchase, or you'd be able to purchase, either a smart node or a node. Okay, there are nodes and then smart nodes. The smart node is the full node. It's the most powerful node. And the difference between a smart node and a blockbot is a blockbot also houses a smart node. It is running just like a smart node, but with a blockbot inside of Connect, not only are you able to participate in the distribution like you would with a smart node with a blockbot, but you also are, of course, participating inside of the Wind blockchain, which means you're receiving, or you can receive a commission for that sale. You can also receive, because it's a blockbot, additional Wind rewards on top of the other rewards that you're mining. So if you have a blockbot Switch, let's say, or a blockbot green, you would be mining those Switch rewards or those green rewards, but on top of that, you would also be receiving an additional Wind reward on top of the Switch or the green or whatever rewards that particular blockbot is mining. And so there's a triple reward, so to speak, when individuals purchase the node or the blockbot through Connect rather than getting a smart node through one of the other brands. And so make sure that as you're talking to people, you are coming through and purchasing those blockbots. Everything that was purchased prior, so anything that came that was given to you was a blockbot. So those are blockbots, just so you understand. So all fulfillment that's been happening, anyone that has come in through the front door of Connect and received that credit and have received those green nodes, those are blockbots. Okay, those are blockbot green nodes. And so I want you to understand that. I appreciate the question there, and that is correct. So one more part of this, just so everyone understands. And I know that we've talked about this before, but I also know that there have been some questions around this as well. The value of the the block bots goes up every time a block bot is purchased. Okay, so the cost of that block bot goes up every time a block bot is purchased, and it goes up by $1 per block bot that is purchased in that particular brand. So as more green block bots or block bot greens are sold, every time a block bot green is sold, the price of the block bot green will go up by $1. Every time a block bot switch is sold, the price of the block bot switch will go up by $1. And that's how that is the same pattern that Gala used. It's the same pattern that we're using with all of the different blockchains, because that's just kind of part of the blockchain algorithm that was put in place from the very beginning. And so I've got another question here that someone asked: do we need to purchase the VPS after the purchase from Connect on any node? And the answer is you don't have to. You can utilize a VPS service to run your nodes, or you can run those nodes on any computer that you might have at home that's compatible. So if you have a Windows machine or a Mac operating system machine or a Linux machine, then you can run your nodes on any of those compatible devices. If you don't want to do a VPS, or if you don't want to use your machines at home, of course you can run those nodes on a virtual private server, which is what VPS stands for, virtual private server. So in our system and in your checkout process, we have referenced one particular VPS system, but just so you know, anybody can use any VPS service that you would like. You can go, and there are VPS services all throughout the world in probably every different country that are offered for those country-specific areas. So you can do whatever you want to. That's completely up to you. We have put in directions for one particular one that's a global company that we have found works. And we have not tested all of them, of course. And you can use any one that you would choose that is compatible and works. But that's completely up to you. So just so you know, there is no basic requirement that you don't have to use Vultr. That's the company that we've talked about in the past. You can use them, but there are many others, and that's completely up to you as to which virtual private server you want to use. So anytime you are looking at the cost of the nodes, those prices are updated on a regular basis. So when you go into Connect and click on any particular node, it will show you the current pricing for that node. We are getting to the point right now where that pricing is being updated. I believe right now it's being updated once a day. And so it was once a week. We are working towards now updating that once a day. And so as you see, and I say that, there have been times where it's taken a couple days to get the proper information, but we are working towards updating that daily, just so that you know. And so people always ask me, when's the price gonna increase, and when it's gonna happen? And I would always err on the side of it might increase today. It probably will. And so we are getting to the point where we are finally we are getting a lot of this automated right now. And so the prices should be updated once a day moving forward. So for anyone that's on the fence or waiting, to purchase, I would just tell them don't wait, because chances are tomorrow the price will be a few dollars more, and sometimes the prices could jump even higher depending on how many are sold, right? Sometimes that price could jump $1,000 if 1,000 are sold that day. And so just be aware of that. The commission engine right now. So the Win blockchain and everything within the Win blockchain, we have been auditing and going back and forth, both with our accounting team as well as with our development team, to really get that all wrapped up. We are having one final, I'm hoping, my fingers are crossed here, I believe we are having one final auditing meeting today to go through everything, to double check and make sure that all of the different rewards, the transaction rewards, the confirmation rewards, the block rewards, and the node support rewards are all calculating correctly. We believe that they are, but we're going through and doing one final audit with everybody together today. And so I'm hoping that out of this last kind of final audit, that we will be able to check that box and say, okay, everything's running and working the way that it should, which means that moving forward, all sales will should follow the Win blockchain. And just to be clear on that, the way that that works is typically if a sale is made today, it is paid out 20 days later, right? That's how the system functions and works. So every sale that's made, the payment for that sale is then paid out 20 days following that sale. So I hope to have that up and running. If today goes well, the way that I think it will, then starting on Monday, everything should be open and ready to go.
Stephen, can I interrupt and throw in a question here, because people are obviously, some of the people have not received the nodes, which means that they can't qualify by running the node and so on. Now, am I correctly assuming that it will first start with the first two generational transaction and confirmation rewards, so people don't need to worry about missing out on commission?
Sorry, say that question one more time. I missed it.
Some people are worried about missing out on commission because they maybe are not qualified if they haven't received their product.
Thank you. Yes. So let me talk to a couple different things. Everything is being worked out right now, and we know that in this process of us fixing and improving the whole systems, no one's going to be left behind. Anybody who has sold block bots or up to 5 block bots, and many of you have sold many of that, as well as a combination of droids, that will also, those qualifications are going to be in place. So don't worry about that. We are, anybody who is in the system right now, obviously, is going to qualify for that. People that aren't in the system, though, need to get in. And that is one of the biggest things that we are still seeing. And I hate to keep on saying this, but the reality is there are a lot of people that have not still come through the front door, that have not come in and set up their accounts even, and who have credits there waiting for them to be applied. And so just so everyone understands, if there's anyone on your team that hasn't come in, just stress to them the importance. We are going to be setting a deadline for that to get everybody in. That deadline is probably going to be about a week out. We will communicate that deadline this weekend, either this weekend or early next week. As we want to make sure we give everyone adequate time, but we have already given a lot of time, and we don't want to just keep on keeping on. We want to close this chapter and get everybody in so that we can then start to move forward and run, and everyone can have everything that they're supposed to in terms of qualifications. So my recommendation for everybody is let's anybody that's having trouble, we've also improved some of our tools on the back end to be able to work even faster. We are making daily pushes, and have been for quite some time, to update people's licenses. And that will continue to happen every day as more and more people do sign that documentation and do come in the front door. I've had a lot of experiences with our teams where people have said, hey, I've done everything, and then we've got on Zoom calls with them and we identified that they had not gone through that whole process, or something wasn't completed. And so that's been often the case. And there have been issues, and I just so you understand, there have been issues on our end as well. Of course, there have been things that haven't worked, and there have been areas where people have tried to log in but couldn't, and we've fixed a lot of those, and are continuing to go through and fix all of those as well. So if we can work together on all this and continue to go through and reiterate and repeat ourselves in this process to get everyone through the front door, I want everyone to have their nodes. I want everyone to be running their nodes, and I want everyone that should qualify to be qualified because of all of that. Okay, that's all going to be part of this qualification process. So So yeah, hopefully that answered that. But yeah, we are today is going to be a really big day for us internally to double check everything, and then hopefully through our conversation today we'll be able to kind of get that initial launch started, and then open up the door for everybody. And then in terms
Stephen,
of
we will just to announce also that the next Zoom will be on Sunday, guys. Not tomorrow. On Sunday, we will have a new update. I just want to point out something a little bit more that you mentioned, Stephen, here also, that, you know, help each other, you know, to help everyone, so to say. For the members, awareness that me and our team, Aaron, Mike, all of us, Nigel, everyone involved, we are obviously also here to help everyone as much as we can. And I think we are getting much closer on having a very, you know, reasonable way of getting things that are of the utmost importance. We all know that your exact problem is of the utmost importance. Number one always. That is how it is. But in some cases, we know what are the most important things. So we have come to a very good agreement also with Connect to be able to speed up, expedite things that needs to be fixed as soon as possible. Now, just as an update from our side, also as a networker side, member side, we are 4 or 5 days out of having a tool to help you see who are not qualified. Who have not went through the front door and signed up in the right way. So this will be most probably Tuesday, latest Wednesday. So obviously the deadline can't hopefully be right after that.
We will give adequate time. Absolutely.
Yeah. So just so you guys know that we are all working as much as we can, and my brain doesn't still work like it should. So sorry for repeating myself in some ways and maybe, you know, not combining it. I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. I'm back, but slowly, slowly but surely. So yeah, and also things with sponsor links we've been speaking about. Some people had some issues there. It is being looked into. And we also spoke about this, guys. There is something very important that you can use as a referral, and that is your Connect ID. So when you go into your Connect app, okay, and you click on the blue guy, so to say, there reads a Connect. Maybe you can show Stephen if that's possible.
Yep, I'm pulling it up right now. Just
because I think it's important this with referrals and so people get it right, because there is many ways that you can actually refer, not as in a normal MLM company only, but you can actually use email address, you can use the ID number, so Stephen can show where you can find that.
Yep, I'm pulling it up right now. There we go. So inside of your Connect app, and this is a dummy app, but inside of your Connect app, if you click on the little figure here in the top left-hand corner, click on that, you'll see your Connect ID. That is the Connect ID that you can use to share and to sign people up. And if they want to put in, that is the one that they should use to enroll.
I had one thing more here, Stephen, that came to my mind now, because some people have asked me also, because they go in here and then they go on and look at the nodes, you know, and they see zero licenses, but they see them in green. Maybe you can clarify that one also, that it's not yet done. Yeah,
this is still being updated in Connect. Right now, you should see all of your green node licenses in green, and those numbers should be accurate. In Connect, we are working on a couple of changes that will allow you to see every different brand here. Right now, it only shows kind of the one set here, and this is referring to Win nodes specifically currently, and so that will be updated. You will actually see different rows of blockbots. You'll see blockbot green, blockbot Win, blockbot switch, and each of those will show how many blockbots you have, and droids, of course, associated as well.
And this is obviously something highly appreciated to show this, Stephen, because some people haven't understood that these are Win nodes. So they think, oh, where are my licenses? So I know people actually that thought that they are missing licenses or droids because they saw a 0 here and they didn't go into the green specifically. Yeah. Now, guys, so this is something that has been on request, actually. We spoke about it, and it will be designed in that way so people can't mistake it. But very important again, guys, that it is extremely important to not believe that it is better to buy from the outside projects because you're missing out on the extra add-on with Win points and Win rewards. So this is, I hope that one went straight to everyone. Now, whatever issues comes, keep on passing them to us. We are getting much more structured, everyone. As always, when two teams come together and so on, and it's the same in network marketing, we know it takes some time to get things to start move in the right direction at the right speed. I am personally still extremely excited about this. My only frustration have been that, you know, I see so much more because of the responsibility also that I've been given, you know, but the opportunity of getting closer to connect and see what's going on. Guys, the interesting thing is I heard today also in the call, I'm probably not even, you know, authorized to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway, that also the IT and so on with working very far, you know, new people are coming on with high expertises from both the blockchain space, from both the MLM space and so on. And the company Connect is already looking, yes, a year ahead and more. So then somebody says, yes, but we need to fix what is in front of us also. But yes, that is also true. But I've been in these situations myself before where, you know, you're driving a car 300 kilometers an hour, you know, you try to change wheel on it. That's fine. And you need to change wheel on it if you need to change wheel on it, but you still need to make sure that you are in the future and that you are actually developing and not problem fixing only. Okay, and that is why I am so excited, and thank you again, Stephen, for being who you are, and you know, always giving 100% and so on. And thanks, guys, all of you guys there in Utah and all around the world that helps Connect grow to what I know it will be. So see you guys on Sunday. And Stephen, do you have anything more than happy weekend to everyone?
That's it. Thank you so much. Yeah, have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you soon, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, really? I will say this on Sunday. Let's take some time and go through the Win blockchain and the point systems and everything else. We'll talk about exactly how qualifications happen, how you earn the very highest complete win score that actually will also contribute to the node support rewards. And so we'll talk about that on Sunday. What comes to Sundays, by the way, I want to mention this from next week, guys, when we are getting to normal and start working, getting, you know, on, we will all forget that it was some hassles, you know, after a few months, guys, you won't even remember it. That's the thing. But we will, from next week on, we will announce, a continuous schedule on the days in the week that will be the Connect Zoom days to get structure and everything and so on. So that's the last thing. And then see you guys on Sunday. Good night. Thank you. And good morning to you, Stephen.